Opening scene. Winter bird watching on Whidbey Island, Washington State. Water birds with identification. Winter strips everything bare. The crowds of beachcombers are gone, nestled back into their routines on the mainland. The world becomes quiet. Now it's just you and the birds. Resilient survivors riding out the blustery season. Wind rips through the inlet. Waves roll and crash in the bay without end. Drifting among the winter waves, the greater scop carries its signature look. A broad, slate-blue bill tipped in black, like a painter's brush dipped in ink. Unlike their daintier cousins, the lesser scop, these birds prefer the open waters of bays and estuaries, riding out the stormiest days with an enviable calm. A floating fleet of black, white, and steely blue. Olympic gull, the opportunist. This scrappy hybrid of the glaucous-winged and western gulls are the scavengers, the mischief makers, the pirates of the inlet. Opportunistic to their very core, they trail behind fishing boats, steal from the unsuspecting, and cackle like drunken sailors at their own good fortune. When storms churn the waters, they revel in the chaos, riding the wind as if playing a game only they understand. Not all seagulls are dumpster divers. There is a hearty society of gulls who choose to live hard scrabble off what they can pluck from the sea themselves, dropping shellfish and crustaceans on the wing to be broken on the rocky beach below. Pacific loon, phantom of the inlet. Sleek and enigmatic, loons are a ghostly presence in the winter water. Unlike its showy summer self, clad in checkerboard finery, the winter Pacific loon wears muted grazer shadow against the waves. When it dives, it vanishes completely, slipping between worlds, reappearing many yards away, as if the sea itself spat it out in another time and place. Piercing through the quiet of the inlet, the call of the loon, a sound both haunting and beautiful. It drifts over the water like an echo from another world, mysterious and timeless. Bird lovers cherish it, but even those who know little of birds feel something stir when they hear the eerie, wavering cry. It is the voice of the wild, a song of solitude and longing. With each passing season, particularly in winter, the wind, rain, and waves all work to erode the bluffs on the island's shoreline. The land crumbles into the sea, sometimes in sudden cataclysmic collapses, as if surrendering to the relentless force of time. Bufflehead, the acrobat. Buffleheads are like a burst of laughter in a quiet theater. Tiny but bold, these pint-sized divers hurtle into the inlet's frigid waters with fearless energy. Watch closely as they pop up like champagne corks, beads of water cascading from their iridescent heads. They chase one another in lively games, their white and black plumage flashing in the low winter light. Common goldeneye, the flash of gold. Nearby, the common goldeneye moves with a different kind of purpose. They are dignified, regal, their piercing yellow eyes glinting in the cold air. Males toss their heads back in dramatic displays, seeking to impress watching females. A courtship ritual set against the backdrop of the Olympic mountain's snowy embrace. Common merganser, the torpedo. Sleek, sharp, and built for speed, the common merganser streaks across the water, a missile on a mission. These fish-eating specialists slice through the inlet with serrated bills, eyes locked on prey below. Their long bodies and striking plumage make them unmistakable. Nature's answer to the perfect aerodynamic design. The tide rolls in, slow and deliberate. A breath drawn deep from the lungs of the Salish Sea. The moon, waxing gibbous, pulls the waters in her quiet dance, stirring the rhythms that dictate life on Admiralty Inlet. Winter here is not a season of silence. Rather, it is a symphony carried on the wind. Western grebe, dancer of the waves. Then comes the western grebe, elegant and otherworldly. In the warmer months, they dance upon the water in displays of devotion. But in winter, they remain solitary. Their red eyes glow like embers against the slate-colored sea. Grebes spend more time underwater than all the other birds, so much so that it's difficult to film them as they're only briefly on the surface of the water before diving again. Double-crested cormorant, the striking fisher. Beneath the water, the double-crested cormorant is a diver plunging below the surface like the loons and diving ducks. One moment it is gone, the next it surfaces close by, its colorful throat patch flashing, a reminder that even in winter, brilliance exists. Harlequin duck, the floating jester. Among the rugged wave-lashed rocks, the harlequin duck is a bird as bold in spirit as it is in color. These tough little divers defy the punishing surf, slipping between barnacle-crusted boulders with remarkable ease. With their clownish appearance comes a matching sense of humor. They hitch rides on driftwood as it floats through the bay, jostling for position and reveling in the novelty of the motion. Watching the birds, day after day, the cold slowly seeps into your bones. Your spirit becomes more reflective, like the surface of the sea. While storm-driven tides reset the shoreline, your outlook on life realigns, finding renewed clarity. There's no glory to be found here, nor any sort of grand revelation, just the rhythm of the sea and time itself, wearing you smooth like a stone on the shore. Mallards, the archetypal duck. And then there are the mallards, ubiquitous, familiar, yet never to be underestimated. The drakes, resplendent in emerald and chestnut, remain loyal to their mates through the long, dark months. They dabble in the shallows, unconcerned with winter's bite. Brant goose, chorus of winter. At low tide on Admiralty Inlet, a colony of brant geese crowds the shallows, plucking eelgrass from the tide-slicked shore. Dark-bodied and sporting fashionable white necklaces, they gather in tight flocks, their chorus of honks rising and falling like waves. Bobbing up and down on the water, they form a living tide. More than 100 voices rise in a chorus of soft, throaty honks, constant and conversational, as if discussing the feast. Surf scoter, velvet-nosed diver. With its oversized candy-corn duckbill, surf scoters are a bird of contradictions. It is both comical and dignified, braving the heaviest waves, and vanishing beneath the whitecaps who pluck shellfish from the depths of the sea. Suddenly, a sea otter emerges from the open ocean, venturing onto land with an air of great purpose. Typically, these marine mammals spend their lives adrift, anchored to kelp beds or resting upon the calm waters. But today, this individual has chosen an altogether different course. With careful, deliberate movements, it surveys the beach like a wet dog. Then, in an act devoid of maritime etiquette, it relieves itself upon the shore. Mysterious and urgent errand complete, it vanishes once more into the waves. Just another day in the secret life of a sea otter. Great blue heron, the stoic watchman. Looming along the shoreline, the great blue heron stands motionless, a living sculpture carved from shadow and patience. It is the hunter who waits, the poet who does not speak, until provoked. With a sudden strike, it spears an unsuspecting fish, swallowing it whole before resuming its vigil. Belted kingfisher, aerial sniper. Just above the rolling waters of the bay, the belted kingfisher rattles its unmistakable call, a sentinel of the shoreline. It hovers, calculates, then plunges headfirst into the water, emerging with a wriggling fish clamped tightly in its beak. Bald eagle, the regal raptor. Presiding over all, the bald eagle monarch of the inlet, ruler of wind and tide. Spending long hours unmoving on its perch, it waits for the perfect moment to strike, foraging at low tide when it can, or commanding other creatures when it must. Closing scene, winter's embrace. The moon rises higher, casting silver light upon the water. The tide shifts once more, pulling away, carrying with it the whispers of birds, the echoes of their lives on Admiralty Inlet, resounding throughout the warmer months to come. Ultimately, winter here is not a season of stillness. It's a season of continual movement, of survival, of deep and abiding connection. If you listen closely, you can hear it. The mournful yet reassuring lament of birds in winter, sung on the waves and written in the sky.